Welcome to MCQ Capsule YouTube channel, your daily dose of current affairs. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Now let's begin with the questions. Provision for securing just and human conditions of work and maternity relief comes under which article of the Indian Constitution? Article 42. In which year was the National Disaster Management Authority, NDMA, initially constituted under the chairmanship of the Prime Minister of India by an executive order? 2005. Which of the following articles deals with the citizenship of people of Indian origin residing outside India? Article 8. Which article deals with the constitution of municipalities? Article 243Q. In which of the following cases did the Supreme Court uphold the right to privacy as a fundamental right in 2017? Puttaswamy versus Union of India. Which of the following directive principles of state policy is provided under Article 43 of the Indian Constitution? Participation of workers in industrial management. Which of the following is not an instrument of parliamentary control over the executive in India? Judicial review of executive actions. Which of the following statements is correct regarding the legislative allocation of cooperative societies in the Constitution of India? It is a subject in the state list. Which amendment abolished the privy purse and privileges of the former rulers of princely states? 26th Amendment Act, 1971. Which landmark case first established the principle of judicial review in constitutional law? Marbury v. Madison, 1803. Lok Adalats in India have statutory status under which of the following enactments? The Legal Services Authorities Act, 1987. Of the Indian Constitution protects laws from being challenged in courts under judicial review. 9th Schedule. Special provisions for certain states are covered under which part of the Indian Constitution? Part 21. Which type of municipality is formed for a transitional area under Article 243Q of the Indian Constitution? Nagar Panchayat. Which of the following systems was abolished by the 19th Amendment Act, 1966? Zamindari system. Which of the following is not one of the components of the Panchayati Raj institutions in India at the village level? Panchayat Samiti. The division of subjects between the Union and the states is laid out in which schedule of the Constitution? Schedule 7. Which body recommends the distribution of tax revenue between the centre and states? Finance Commission. Who is the highest law officer in a state? Advocate General. Which constitutional amendment reduced the voting age from 21 years to 18 years in India? 61st Amendment Act, 1988. Who acts as the real executive head in a state? Chief Minister. Which non-constitutional body investigates corruption complaints against public servants? Lokpal. Under which article of the Constitution is the Controller and Auditor General of India, CAG, appointed? Article 148. What is the term period of the Controller and Auditor General, CAG, of India? 6 years or 65 years. Which constitutional amendment removed the right to property from the list of fundamental rights in India? 44th Amendment Act, 1978. Who are members of the States Reorganization Commission formed in 1953? H.N. Kunjaru, Panikkar, Faisal Ali. After the 97th Constitutional Amendment, For how long can a state cooperative law that is inconsistent with the amendment remain in force? 1 year. Which principle of citizenship did India start following more strictly after the 2003 amendment? Jus sanguinis, by blood. Which of the following articles of the Indian Constitution states about the Official Language Commission in India? Article 344. Which is not an advantage of a Lok Adalat? Right to appeal. The Recorder's Court was later replaced by the Supreme Court. Which of the following is a non-statutory and non-constitutional body? Niti Aayog. Who is responsible for implementing the RTI Act in public departments? Central Public Information Officer. The provisions for salaries and emoluments of constitutional authorities are mentioned in which schedule? Second schedule. The 91st Amendment of the Indian Constitution was enacted in which year? 2003. What is the maximum imprisonment term that a chief judicial magistrate can award? 7 years. Under which provision can the governor extend judicial service rules to certain magistrates? Article 237. Who among the following is the political head of the municipality in India? Mayor. Prior to 1992, what was the status of local governments in India? Autonomous self-governance. When did the citizenship provisions in the Constitution come into effect? 26th November 1949. Thank you for watching. Hope you learned something, and we'll meet soon in the next video.